Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to Progressive Action TV. I am your host, Tramel Thompson. And as you see on the screen, TWU President Richard Davis must go amidst sexual harassment allegations. Now, these are some very serious allegations. And for those who don't know, Richard Davis is the current president of TWU Local 100. Now, what I want to say about this situation is that it's sad and it's unfortunate that we have a leader who is embroiled in these type of allegations in which we don't need as a local. In fact, and I want to share this with you guys because I have permission from the person involved to share particular information. But there's other things going on also that's added on to this. I'm going to say another allegation added on to this. Mr. Davis is going to be forced to step down. And he could step down on his own and save everyone the trouble, save the local the embarrassment, or when these allegations come out fully, and I'm talking about there's more besides the sexual harassment allegation, he's going to be forced to step down. And there's not going to be no hiding spots for him. There will not be no hiding spot in the international. The MTA is not going to want him. You know, he think he's going to be a supervisor. That's not going to happen. And he's going to feel like he's too big to drive a bus. And like I said, after these allegations come out, I don't know where he can land. I believe that his career will be completely over. In fact, I know that his career will be completely over, especially with the evidence that's involved in these allegations. And he's not in this by himself because he has enablers. He has women enablers around him. He has released enablers around him. He has union officers who has been enabling President Davis for years regarding his activity, his inappropriate activity as an officer of Local 100, a high-ranking officer at that of Local 100. And to see people taking pictures with him, knowing the type of individual that he is. Y'all laughing, y'all giggling, because the truth is, and I'm speaking to my audience, these people, these officers do not care about you. They only care about their release time. They care about being off of their bus. They care about not being on their trains, not having a broom or dustpan in their hand, not maintaining the buses. That's the only thing they care about. Everything else is BS because they knew of this man's behavior and they are the ones who appointed him to president because the members never had a chance or opportunity to vote for him. And to know that this guy, Richard Davis, was going to be embroiled in an investigation against the same people that he was negotiating our contract with shows bad faith bargaining. And I believe, and this is my opinion, that the MTA was complicit in this. Because at that point, Richard Davis should have stood down and let someone else bargain our contract knowing he was about to be investigated for his actions. And he's not alone, like I said. There was plenty of officers. There was plenty of release folks. The same people who you see taking pictures with him, laughing and giggling, they enabled this man because this was not a secret. In fact, I have heard of these allegations in the past for years. But now I finally had a chance to speak with someone regarding these allegations, regarding the proof. And They are going to come forward. They gave me their word, and I'm going to take them at their word, that they will come forward. So we'll go from allegations to substantiation. These is very serious. And like I said, we not only talking about sexual harassment here, it gets deeper than that. And I'm not going to talk about it because the person asked for me not to discuss those particulars, but they will discuss it when they come forward with their proof. And the proof is, he know, and the thing is that, Richie, you know what time it is. You know exactly what time it is. You should just do the right thing. Have some integrity for once and step down. Don't wait for everything to come forward, because we not playing bluff. This is not a bluff. This is real deal. You know what you have out there. You know what you have done, and you know how you have behaved throughout these years. So save the local the time. Save yourself the embarrassment. Save the members the embarrassment. And step down. You're going to get your chance to speak. You're going to get your chance to defend yourself. Defend yourself. Allow the facts to come out. Because I'm telling you, when these second set of allegations come forward, and I'm only going to speak about it when I have the person on my program, the international is not going to want you. There will not be a landing place for you there. You're not going to be able to become a superintendent. And we already know that you feel like you're too big to be a bus operator. So your career is going to literally be over. And I want to say this, Richard Davis, he knew what time it was, because that time that I met him for a meeting last summer for 3+ hours, he mentioned, allegations and things of that nature. And he was worried about things coming out, but he thought that he had enough control to avoid these situations, but he just don't have those opportunities right now to make it happen. He's ran out of options. He's ran out of controlling his victims. And that's that, right? Now, another thing I would like to say, remember when Cuomo was going through his situation, his sexual harassment situation, allegations, and John Samuelson was so far up Cuomo behind, it was embarrassing. And then as soon as these allegations came out, John Samuelson wanted to promote it, and he was calling for Cuomo to step down and things of that nature. Samuelson, I want to be clear on this. Richard Davis came from your camp. You know exactly who that man is. If you were smart, because your election is going to be riding on this also. If you were smart, I think that you should be calling Richie Davis right now, because you know what's going on and you know what's about to go down. I advise you to be a true international president and tell him to step down and do what's right for this local until these things are figured out. You did it when Cuomo was going through his. Now you do it for a guy that's cut from your cloth. And besides those serious allegations, Richard Davis is not logical. He's not strategic. He's not a forward thinker. He's not a critical thinker. He's just not smart at all. But one thing he is good at is knowing how to manipulate his power within this local to get what he wants. That's one thing that he is good at. Now, there has been a lot of talk about this side letter that has surfaced within the past week. And we all know y'all may not know who leaked the letter, but I know who leaked it. And this was one of the most idiotic things that Richard Davis could have signed. Now, I'm not going to read this letter, this whole entire letter. Hopefully you can see it on the screen. I discussed it on my last show. Now, I do want to point out the second to last lines on this side letter, which was signed May 30th, 2023. Yes, you guessed right. While the MTA knew that Richie Davis was going to be investigated for sexual harassment, Richie signed this side letter. And the second to last lines says something very strange to me I have never seen before. It says, unless renegotiated by the parties, New York City Transit will direct consistent agency administration of these provisions as per the clear contract language. Now, I would like to ask, since when is contract language clear? Right? Contract language is very ambiguous, and that side letter is regarding the MTA not paying audio time and a half. If you work on your audio time and a half, if you are absent 3 or more days during the week, right? Now, this is what the actual contract language states. Notwithstanding any other rules or working conditions, for an employee to be eligible for pay at time and 1/2 for working on his or her regular day off, the employee must work at least 3 days during the week in which she also worked on his her regular days off. If the employee was absent on the day immediately prior to his or her regular days off, she must produce a doctor's certificate in order to be eligible for premium pay on his or her regular day off. So why would Richie Davis sign this letter? And what is the negative effect of Richie Davis signing this letter? For one, him signing this letter gives the MTA an out, because now when Richie Davis signed this letter, past precedents or past practice is not eligible. And I just want to remind you guys, that language that I just read in the contract been in there for decades. When Richie Davis signed this side letter, it reset the past practice that we had, the protection that we had regarding past practice, right? And the lawyer who he signed this with, or who advised him to sign it, was Dennis Engel, someone who does not care about transit workers. He just cares about getting $250,000 to $300,000 for his firm of our union dues every year to get us poor contracts, to make poor decisions, to advise on poor decisions, right? This is what we are dealing with here. Since when are we acknowledging that contract language is clear? Now, going back to this, an employee must be eligible for pay at time and 1/2 hours for working on the RDO. The employee must work at least 3 days during the week. Now, what the MTA is starting to practice is that if you are taking AVA, OTO, or PLD during the week, and it equals out to you not working 3 days, and you decide to work an RDO, they not paying you time and a half. Now, the original contract language isn't clear, but the language that Richie Davis signed, the MTA said the clear contract language, and he signed it. So now the real argument is, what is considered an absence, right? Now, you being out sick, that's an absence without a doubt. Now, is there a difference between sick being absent and an approved absence? Is there a difference? Because OTO, AVA, and PLD must be approved. Is there a difference? See, that's not clear. So that's why you would have a step 1, a step 2, and then go to arbitration to figure out what the true meaning is according to an arbitrator. So the contract language is not clear. But when Richie Davis signed that side letter with the MTA, he admitted that the language is clear. And if the MTA is saying that being absent includes OTO and AVA and PLD, then what leg do we have to stand on, especially when Richie Davis signed that side letter? Now, the past practice was if you take OTO, AVA, and PLD and you work the RDO, you would still get the time and a half. But when Richie Davis signed that side letter, he reset the clock and he took away our past practice. Now, this was all in the name of, guess what? Gain sharing and availability. Why is our union involved with employee availability? That should be the least of the union's worries. That should be the least of their worries. Why are they worried about employee availability? It makes absolutely no sense. No sense. Employee availability should be solely the responsibility of the MTA. They are the ones who create this negative culture here. They are the ones who fail to provide a safe work environment for us. They are the ones who fail to discipline supervisors who don't know their jobs, who thinks that disciplining employees is the definition of their jobs. Why are we worried about employee morale? That makes absolutely no sense. Now, another thing that I've realized or dropped recently was this. The SSSA has taken public action against Richard Davis and his leadership. I've never seen nothing like this ever, of the SSSA and Local 100 going at it. I've never seen anything like this. And, you know, he stated in this letter that's floating all around the internet, and he also put in a grievance to protect his members regarding what's going on here. Now, this is bad for us. Why? Because you're going to, what Richard Davis did, which he, once again, he didn't forward think. And I don't understand why he's not working with SSSA regarding this. Like, we should be a team, to be honest. We should without a doubt, be a team, right? He's creating a hostile work environment between us hourlies and the supervisors, because the SSSA president, Mike Karube, stood up for his members and said, hey, the Local 100 president is messing it up for us over here for the supervisors because he's just not smart. And guess what those supervisors are going to do? They're going to take it out on us hourlies. Not all of them, but you're going to have a few that's going to do that. This is without a doubt. You're going to have a few that's going to do that. And I'm going to say this, man. We are in some serious trouble as a local. Some serious trouble. And I'm telling you, Richard Davis, he hasn't been in office for 1 year yet. He will have 1 year, December 14th, 2023. The amount of mistakes that he has made, the allegations that he's embroiled in, you would swear that he was in office for 32 years. I mean, he must go. And he must save everyone the trouble. Do not wait to think that, oh, I'm going to wait to see what's going to come out. Richard, you know what's about to come out. You know what's about to happen. You know how this is going to go down. Save yourself the trouble. Save the members the embarrassment. Save your family the embarrassment. Have some integrity for once. Do the right thing for one time in your life and step down. Step down. The game is over. The gig is up. You're about to be exposed like never before. I want you guys to make sure y'all like this video, subscribe to the channel, and join the channel. It's only 99 cents. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.